Welcome to another episode of Coder Conversations. This is Kevin.
And this is TC.
Man, how's it been going?
Tough. It's tough. I've been It's been a lot of work, but I'm blessed. I'm grateful. Met Sean this past weekend from the podcast. That was pretty cool. I didn't know we live so. I don't want to say it's close, but we live relatively close to each other, and so it was cool just meeting him and just chopping it up. And yeah, but for me though, like work's just been keeping me like real busy. How about you?
Yeah, man. Pretty much same thing. Working, doing a bunch of different stuff for the podcast as well, man. Really trying to get this going this year. So we'll see if everything pays off, but I think it will.
Yeah, I see the light in the background, and you got a different backdrop and stuff. It's cool. It's coming together.
You got the little
Might have to get
call-in
myself a
number.
little. Yeah, we got the calling number now. Yeah.
469-294-1285. Let's see if anybody calls in.
You're gonna get trolls, but it's
yeah.
Gotta prepare for that.
Man,
gotta prepare for that.
Have you heard about the TikTok bans? They're banned in different like universities and government institutions.
Really? So I've heard of it, but I didn't like read that deep into it. So are they? How would you ban it? Like, how do you ban an app?
Well, like you ban it off of the devices that like say the government gives you a phone, you ban it off the phone. I guess you just block it at some level where they can't even download the app. Which I mean, it's understandable considering China can be using this to gather all kinds of information on people.
Of course, yeah. I mean, people have been saying for longest, right, that like this TikTok app, it knows too much, right? It's got so much data can be gathered from it, right? But the opposite could be said for, or the same thing could be said for other applications, right? Social media applications. But I think when it comes to TikTok, it's probably the visual data and the audio data that's probably the most, like, how do I say this? TikTok probably has way more total time and total data because it's all 10 seconds, right? Like, imagine how much info you can get about somebody from a 10-second, or not 10-second clip. Sorry, I don't know what the duration of the video is, but it's short form audio, video, right? Imagine how much data you can process in short form video versus longer form video. It might be the same, but I just think that the amount of data that they can gather within a day is way more than like YouTube or any other platform out there.
Well, yeah, because pretty much with TikTok, they're showing you a wider variety of samples, so they get to see how you react to all these different samples. I'm sure they use the camera while you're watching it to
probably
scan your eyes and see what you're looking. Yeah.
So, hi, Lucretia. Welcome to the podcast. I don't know if you saw the comment on the side, the chat.
Hey, Lucretia, thank you for tuning in. Yeah, I bought your course. It's pretty nice. Still going through it.
Well, what course?
Oh, it was a course on like LinkedIn marketing and stepping up your visibility. I've been big on that lately. So, it's work in progress, but trying to step that up. But yeah, man. Do you have a TikTok account?
I don't. I think that was the first application that I said I don't want to even like install the app. The only exposure I have to that app is through family. Like, that's it.
Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Oh, most definitely. Yeah, I got a ton of questions because I'm really trying to step it up this year. We've been in the ghettos for too long. We have to get the visibility we need. But yeah, man. You know, I've been getting into TikTok lately, but if they're gonna ban it, is there any point in me investing a bunch of time into it? You know
I
what I
don't think
mean?
so. I mean, I would spend more time like we discussed a little bit earlier today. Is like I would spend more time focusing on one or two avenues. Like even uh top like the channels that I watch, they say that the traction that they get on their content is usually like you could tell where it only comes from one app. It's not like you're getting a bunch of like traction on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. It's usually like YouTube is your main platform, and then
Hmm.
like it trickles in from other smaller platforms. He says like he's like, yeah, I have a TikTok and I put my stuff out there on there, but it doesn't have the same amount of views like on YouTube. And I think just because I just think that like if I'm at a computer, well, how do I say this?
It kind of seems like
Uh,
different platforms have different. You got to cater your content to those
right.
different platforms.
Right. Yeah, like YouTube, right? I can throw on YouTube. I'm sure there's a TikTok app on TV or whatever, but I can throw on YouTube on my TV and watch like a review of a video game, or uh, I could play some music or whatever, right? But I don't think I would turn on TikTok on my TV, right? Like YouTube is
Hmm.
accessible. Uh, YouTube is accessible across uh like multiple devices, tablets, phones, TV, et cetera, et cetera. So I just think it's more accessible.
Yeah, I mean, you can watch TikTok on your computer, but it's just kind of like, who
Isn't it
really
weird?
wants to watch? Yeah, yeah. I've actually watched it on the computer before, but people aren't really going to be watching 10-second clips like that on the
Right.
computer. It's more of a
Yeah.
phone thing.
Exactly. Exactly. Like you can pull up YouTube Shorts on desktop, right, and just scroll through it, but it doesn't feel
Yeah.
right. I don't know. It feels really weird. Just
And
using arrow keys to like hit forward and forward and forward. You know.
I know a lot of people they get in trouble on TikTok because like if you view a certain kind of content, you get like a bunch more of that content. So if you watching
Yeah.
it on the computer, on the big screen, you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah. Yeah. It'll just keep giving you more and more of it.
yeah, like
For sure.
who are these girls dancing?
Yeah. Yep. The algorithm will do that to you, man.
Man, I had a thought, man. The algorithm really controls a lot of what we do in society, man. If the only kind of information you're getting is what you're already consuming, it's
It's
kind of like they're
biased.
locking you into an intellectual bubble.
It's biased. Yeah. But you can. That's the thing, though. Like you can train this device here to give you what you want, right? You're. It's just a reflection of you. All of my advertisements, all of my recommended items on Amazon, and recommendations in YouTube, and search history and everything else. It's all based on what I'm looking up, like, and they're just gonna keep feeding me the same stuff, right? It's just a feedback loop. That's
Yeah,
really what it is. It's a really potent dopamine feedback loop. And if you play it smart, you can control that thing. One thing I've started doing is I don't know if I told you this. One thing I started doing is putting my phone in black and white
hmm,
during the day, and
no,
I
you haven't told
find
me
that
that.
by putting my phone in black and white mode, I don't have that itch to pick it up. I can
Hmm.
I can read text messages, I can see the apps on my phone, but everything is in black and white, like an old school TV.
Yeah.
And I don't feel that itch to pick up my phone throughout the day.
That's how a lot of people get rid of addictions. Like if you're drinking, you pour some alcohol, but you mix it with half of something nasty. So like
Yeah,
when you drink, it's like you start associating disgust with that
exactly.
particular thing. So yeah, that's a good
Exactly.
idea. You're trying to
Yeah.
what, like untether yourself from devices in
I'm
general.
trying to, yes. Yeah. I want to untether myself. Like, I don't know if I want to do it like 100%, because I don't think that's viable in today's
Yeah,
day and age, but I want to be able to control if I want to pick up my phone and scroll and just kill an hour, I want to be in control of that. I don't want to impulsively be picking up my phone looking for something to distract myself. And I feel like it's almost like silently these devices and these apps and technology has crept into our lives. Just like how you showed me that article about the Wi-Fi routers spying on people and stuff. It's like that's the thing, man. You can let in a Roomba into your home, and it oh yeah, it can see, and it knows when it's about to go off of down some stairs, and it knows it's about to hit a wall or whatever. It's like, well, think about it, and from a technical standpoint, how does it know it's about to hit a wall? How does it learn that it's about to hit a wall? How does it learn that, like it's got to be downloading something, right? Yes. And it's not just local. It's not TiVo. It's not just a hard drive saving it to your hard drive and playing it back. It's a system.
So scientists turn Wi-Fi routers into cameras that can see through walls. With the help of AI, the researchers were able to detect the movement of human bodies in a room using Wi-Fi routers, even through walls. Researchers at Carnegie Mellon University have repurposed a common piece of tech present in virtually every household to function as a tracking technology. By utilizing Wi-Fi routers, they have developed a method for detecting three-dimensional shape and movements of human bodies in the room. Oh, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, that's the big thing, right? It's like if somebody can they had to change a couple of things to make it happen, right? To make that happen. But I'm talking about like what's already available, right? A Ring camera, freaking Amazon Alexa, Google Nest, right? All these apps that you can talk to and control and stuff, right? We've like how do I say like we've let Big Brother into our homes, and he's just chilling on the couch. Like you got to limit how much information you're giving these companies and you're giving these apps. That's the only way you're really going to be able to break free from it. If you want to, if you don't have a problem, then go ahead. More power to you.
What's really crazy is these AIs, they're good enough to like replicate people's voices. Like you can't even tell the difference between the actual artist and the voice. So I don't know.
It's getting there.
Did you hear the Tupac song with AI? They made him like rap about the PS5.
I didn't hear the Tupac one. I heard somebody made an Eminem song, or it sounded like anyway. It's like Eminem. I think he did a song with Jay-Z, Kanye. I think those are the only three that I heard.
Oh, this one is actually good. Let me see. I don't know how I'm gonna be able to play the audio. Are you able to hear that?
Wow.
Yeah, let me stop the song before we get a copyright strike. But you see what I'm saying?
About to get demonetized. Yeah, but that's crazy.
They got the vocal inflections down.
Yeah, it just has to sound right. The only thing that I've heard that doesn't sound right is like the cadence. It has like it has like just one cadence, and it doesn't change up the flow like at all.
Right.
So right now it's really amateurish, where it's like you just take one chorus and you take one cadence and you rap over it for about a minute, but it's the beginning of something crazy. I think we're gonna have to almost put like a copyright on our image and likeness.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're gonna have to protect your identity, not just with a social security number, but like, this is my face, I own my face. This is my voice, I own my voice.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure like these artists are gonna end up signing deals where the record label owns their likeness, and you know,
Mm,
we scan your voice, scan your face once, and then we use the AI to generate, more albums from you and stuff like that. Like they don't even have to use you anymore. like
exactly. It's like,
like
oh, we
it
don't
can
need you anymore.
they can literally make like new Michael Jackson songs or Tupac songs.
They could, but like, think of it
You,
like
you
that.
mu-
Like, think about that real quick. Would you want to listen to a new Michael Jackson song?
I wouldn't, but I think some people would. Like, they kind of want to relive it's almost like bringing them back to life, but not really. But, you get to experience so-called new content, even though it's not really from them.
Right. Yeah,
It's a little creepy, actually, but
it's not the same. Is that art though?
uh,
Wow, that's a good question. That's a real deep question, right? It's a thin line because you're using. I guess the art would be somebody has to come up with the lyrics to feed the AI, right? Unless the AI is just generating it. But if you feed it lyrics that you wrote, and all you're doing is just using Michael Jackson's voice to sing it, then you would be I guess you'd be the owner of the lyrics.
so
Uh,
they
yeah,
kind of do that now. Like, they have ghost writers. The artists don't even necessarily write the
right,
song. They got ghostwriters and they got producers. So it's
right.
almost like, are we listening to art now?
Yeah, but the that's not exactly the same though. Like, yeah, somebody can ghostwrite for somebody else, but they're selling those right. I don't know how it works, but I would assume that if I was a major artist and I didn't want to write it, I wanted a hit song, and I knew a ghostwriter who writes hit songs. I'd pay that ghostwriter to write to write a hit song for me. Do I pay somebody that's good at writing lyrics to feed it to an AI?
So like, what if that ghostwriter is just the guy that's feeding it to the AI, and the AI is rapping and singing and all of that. Like the artist right now is almost just like a vessel.
It's tough. It's like imagine if you paid a artist to give you art, but the artist just ended up using Midjourney or whatever to generate the art for you.
So Mid Journey is actually making art that's better than a lot of human artists. So let's take a look at some of these images.
Yeah, I think we're heading into an era where like things are just getting into a real gray area when it comes to art, it comes to music, it comes
Like, could you
to
tell this was done by AI?
uh can you blow it up? Can you give a right now I'm just seeing a small screen, a small image.
Okay, yeah. For some reason, it doesn't let me blow the image up. Let me just
Right
zoom
now
in on it.
right now I'm just seeing the Midjourney
Is it
art.
is it a little bit clearer now? Let me see. Oh, okay. I don't know why
I'm
that's
just
showing.
seeing the Bing search
Hold
results.
up. Let me see. I think I got it on the wrong window.
Yeah, it's just showing me Bing. Oh, oh well.
I accidentally left the room. Hey, can you hear me?
Hold on. Are you back? Hello?
Yo, can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, we're back.
Okay.
Camera guy.
Yeah, I accidentally left the room.
Oh, okay. You're using the other camera now?
Hold on, let me see. Okay.
Back to the devices
Okay, there we
issue.
go. Yeah, let
LinkedIn
me.
private user says back to the devices. Is the device itself the issue though? Like my TV has all these apps: Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max. The device is a medium to another world. A combination of regulating the use of the device and the actual content that you consume or subscribe to is the way. A combination of regulating the use. So the thing how I see it like is like this. Uh, a television is a television until it starts to get to the point where I can talk to my TV and my TV, if I can say, "Hey Google" to my TV, and then it opens up a search box and it's listening to my requests, then we're getting into that gray area again, where it's like the TV can advertise to me and it can browse. I'm pretty sure you can still do that, like with Alexa and things like that. I just think that it's too much. Like a TV to me, like I'm born in the late '80s, like '89, right? To me, a TV does one thing: plays video games, plays you flip the channel and it plays a different channel, or you open the app and it does something else, right? If I could talk to my TV, it's too much.
Yeah.
That's just my whole thought process. It's like let devices be what they are. They don't need to be any smarter than that. I think it's just too much when we start blending technology with vacuums and TVs and I don't
Yeah.
know.
So,
When
so
we
you
try to
see,
make everything smart, it's just too much. That's all I'm trying to say.
so
Sorry,
you
Kevin.
see
Go
this.
go ahead.
This is art from The Last of Us, generated by the AI.
Why is my audio doing that? Okay, hello.
Hello, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with my audio.
No, okay, yeah. I think Melanap's tripping a little bit, but
Yeah,
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 man. Are you able to see this art?
yeah. I can see it.
Yeah, all of this is generated by AI. Like
It's
the
really
the one
nice
the one way you're able to tell usually is by the hands. It'll
by the
like give
hands.
people like six fingers or something like
Yeah,
that.
but I read I was reading a thread on Reddit, and the way to get around that is basically to tell the AI draw six fingers, and what they'll do
Mm,
is that the AI will usually only draw five if you tell it to draw
mm.
six.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I wonder what's going on with that.
Wow, that's exactly the one I was looking at. The one in the middle with the lady, and she's
Hmm.
got the paintings behind her. That's so. That's like Death Stranding, Uncanny Valley.
Yeah, it's really good. Like
That's really close.
with the
Yeah,
paintings in the background, it's like strange. It's just like paintings of hair.
yeah.
Like this is really good too. Like I can literally see people like companies using AI to make concept art for movies and all of that. Like you don't
I
even
can
have to
see
pay an
that.
artist. Like I wonder how is it doing this? Like how is
It,
AI creating these images?
it's supposed to be using a lot of other things as references. So a lot of the art that we're seeing, it's not building up. It's not drawing from scratch. It's using other images and other art pieces and just manipulating them and mixing and mashing. Like I've seen on Twitter, there's a lot of artists that are complaining that they just used this art piece and switched up X or Y. Um,
Mm,
so it's not like it's drawing from like a blank canvas. It's using something as a base and
that's
just
probably
like
like
adding a
a
twist
sim-
to it.
it's assembling
At
like
least from
stuff
what I've
that's
seen,
already
it could be different now.
it's pretty much just a like creating a composite of stuff that already exists and
Yeah,
creating a new image.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when we get into that gray area. Go ahead.
Yeah, I could see a lot of artists, filing copyright claims and stuff like that if,
Oh, for sure.
it's still in their style and, you know, taking bits and pieces from other people. Isn't that like a sampling issue? Like I can't just take a piece of a song and then dump it into my stuff
Hmm.
without having to pay the artist. So
Yeah, it's it's these next 10, 20 years are going to be really interesting for creative minds, right? What if you can AI generate a book
oh, you
and sell
can.
that book, right?
They're,
Like,
they're they're already using AI to generate articles.
yeah, but I mean, like a full-on book, like
I think they've done that
and you
too.
sell that book, right?
Yeah.
That would be crazy. You just generate the book. You don't have to take the months, the years to write it. Like, oh, you want to know the ending? You want to know the ending to Game of Thrones? You can just have AI generate it. Doesn't matter.
I mean, I think they need to do that because George R. R. Martin, he's never going to finish.
He's taking his sweet time.
Oh, he's been
He's
working on
taking
the
his sweet
last book
time.
for like 15 years or something.
Something like that. Yeah, he's taking his sweet time.
I'm surprised nobody created like a George R. R. Martin AI to finish the series up.
They'll give him a chance. Then if he doesn't do it, they'll probably step in. Technology will find a way.
Yeah, exactly. Man, have you been watching The Last of Us?
I
I've heard they
haven't, but
get.
I keep hearing good things. Is it good? Have you seen it?
Oh, I haven't seen it either.
No. I hear good things though. Like I hear it's actually like a good show. It's faithful to the anime. It's faithful to the video game, which is cool. Like I'm glad that it's getting a season two. I heard that. Uh, I'm just glad that they're just gonna like they're faithful enough to the source material. They don't
Yeah.
change up too much stuff. And from what I read, they expand on like a lot of side character, or at least a couple of side characters. Like they give them more like backstory, which is cool. I wish more people would do that instead of trying to turn like use The Witcher and make it something that it's not, or
Right.
use I don't know. I can't think of another example.
I think it's pretty easy to make an adaptation of The Last of Us because it's pretty realistic as is. So
Right,
you
right.
know,
It's just a zombie. They're zombies, right? What are they? They're like undead,
y-
infected,
yes,
or whatever.
like infected with I think like some kind of pollen or something. It's been a while since
Mm,
I played it. So
I've never played it.
oh, you
I'm,
never
I'm
played it?
I'm waiting
Oh yeah.
for the first one or whatever to come out on PC. I'll get it.
Okay, yeah. You don't have any consoles, do you?
Uh,
Or Switch?
besides the Steam Deck, that's it.
Oh, okay.
Besides the Steam Deck, that's it. Yeah.
But you always just been a PC guy, or
No. I've been I used to play a lot of consoles. I had a N64 growing up. I had a PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. And I still have like I I still have a PS1 and PS2 and N64, like all those games and stuff. It's just in a box.
oh, okay,
It's just in a
yeah.
box, kind of collecting dust.
Well, I'm sure it's worth a small fortune now, so it's a good thing you didn't get rid of them.
Nah, I'm not gonna sell it. Like that's my childhood,
Yeah.
you know. Like, oh, Kevin, you broke your camera turned
Oh
off.
yeah. Yeah. The battery went out on the
Oh,
so got to use the bootleg cam.
it's all good. Um, what was I saying? Yeah, it's just memories, man. I wouldn't get rid of those. Like, if I ever have the itch to fidget with AV cables and blow on a cartridge and play some games, like I'd still want to do it the old fashioned way. I'm sure I can emulate it, but it's not the same.
Yeah. For some reason, it just doesn't feel quite right.
No,
Like
no.
I don't know what it is, but it feels good when you have the actual thing and you actually paid for it.
Yeah, yeah, for
Like
sure.
I remember like back in the past, like I get the emulator, download all the ROMs I can. I have like 80 or
Hmm.
100 games, and it's like
Hmm.
it cheapens the experience.
Exactly. You don't got to go to a store, talk to a clerk. Hey, do you have Pokemon Blue for the Game Boy?
Hmm.
And they were like, yeah. or go to Target and get the little ticket. It's like I want Pokemon Blue I want Pokemon Silver for the Game Boy Color. It's like, yeah, here it's $35. Whoa, $35, so expensive, you know?
I think it's a level of excitement that you can't experience unless like you can't immediately access something like, back in the day, when we listened, when a hot song came out, you couldn't just go download it and listen to it like 50 times. You had to wait until it
Wait
came
for it
on the
to hit that
radio,
radio. Yep.
record it. Yeah. Wait months later and get it on CD. But now you get everything instantaneous. It's like there's no anticipation.
There's none. Exactly. There's no anticipation. It's just okay, I heard the song. Okay, I heard the album. It's like, oh, I want to listen to an album. Go on Spotify. Go on Apple Music. Go on whatever.
Man, don't you kind of feel like the internet's ruined a lot of celebrities and stuff for you, like musicians? Like it kind of gave us a look into their lives that we didn't have before. It kind of like
I would
dispels the myth.
say, I mean, yeah, yes and no. I don't really look at musicians as like I don't idolize musicians, right?
Yeah.
Because they're just people, right? You know, like celebrities, musicians, movie stars, actors. They have their own personal life, you know, and we just see them through their media. Like we don't know them personally. Like you can listen to all their albums or whatever, but you don't know their childhood outside of, oh, I know what school he went to growing up or whatever. Um, has it ruined celebrities? For me, I would say yes and no.
Yeah.
Right? Like I think I think certain platforms probably aren't the best to try and get to know somebody. Like if you follow somebody's Twitter account and they say something dumb, it's like, oh, so and so said this. It's like, yeah, but that's through text. You can interpret text as anything.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can
I
put
mean,
videos and stuff online too. I don't know. I just think. I guess the answer is to answer your question. Yeah, it's just too much.
yeah. I
Like
mean,
how viral or how fast like videos and stuff of incidents can go up online. People can talk about it and tweet about it and post about it all day and stuff. It's crazy. Like the only time I had to hear about news was from the actual news. If there's an earthquake or a fire or whatever natural disaster. Now, if something's going down, it's on the first page of Google. It's on the first page of MSN. It's on the first page of
mhm.
whatever. I don't have to hear about it on the news or the radio. So
Right.
yeah, to answer your question, yeah, it's uh, social media and the internet has really sped up information that the way we gather information, the way we do things.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost like the new school. You know what I mean? People spend more time on here than anywhere else. That this is where they're getting their information from. This is where they're learning from. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Like a lot of the regional dialects, the accents are disappearing because people are congregating online and they're like, kind of looking like each other, sounding like each other. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like all the little kids, they all got the little dreadlocks. It's hard to look at somebody and say,
Yeah.
oh, they're from the South. Back then you could easily
Right.
tell.
Right. Yeah. Dang. I didn't think about that.
It's like, our new tribe is online instead of, I
Right.
don't even really know my neighbors, to
Really.
be honest with you. Like, I barely see them. Like it's like every time I go outside, it's like a ghost town.
Mm. Mm. I would say, yeah, I'm the same way. But for me, and I'm not trying to make it about myself. And like in my experience, like with me and my neighbors, I could be very shy into myself and not really like interactive and stuff. And I think I think these devices, right, make it a lot easier to just sort of be by yourself.
Yep.
Yeah, you're connected with other people. You're connected with like-minded people. There's discords and online communities that you can join, like you could join into, and you can type to people and talk to people. But it's not the same as actually going to a park and talking to people, going to a concert and talking to people. It's not. It's just not the same.
Exactly.
It can't replace actually talking to your neighbors, right? Like texting somebody versus talking to them it can't be replaced.
It's just kind of weird, man. Like we're not even interacting with people. We're just
It's crazy,
interacting with like a digital representation of them. You know what I mean?
right?
Like it's good that you and Sean actually got to hang out in person. Like y'all got to experience each other's company, not like the text or
Yeah,
the audio version of each other. You know?
yeah, yeah. And that's the thing too, right? Like you're not gonna forget those. I'm not sure how like if you had a lot of friends growing up or what your childhood was like, but like for me, getting kicked out of the house on the weekends, go play, go outside, go, you know, go do something with yourself. And yeah, I didn't like it. I wanted to sit at home and play my games or whatever. But I look back and like, man, I went outside. I went to a park. I went to summer camp. I learned how to ride a scooter and ride a bike, and I hurt myself, and I did a bunch of stuff that I could look back and be like, yeah, that's awesome. Now
Yeah.
I don't. I go to a park and I don't see kids at a park.
Yeah.
I don't see kids playing basketball or riding bikes or scooters or whatever. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's real weird.
And like you mentioned, man, the real strong memories are not formed through digital experiences. You're not like, oh man, I remember watching such and such on TV. It's like I remember going to this concert and seeing all these people around me, everybody screaming and yelling. That actually experiencing it is completely different than just watching like a video of it.
Right. Yeah. That's the thing too. Right. Like you said, it cheapens the experience. Watching a video, listening to the album online, like physically going to a record store and buying an album or flipping through records and finding something like a gem, like, oh man, they have this, like, oh, I gotta buy it. Like I don't know, it's different. It's different actually walking into a store, picking out something, purchasing it versus going on to Amazon.com, scroll until you find the right item, hit next day shipping, add to cart, and then check out.
Yeah. Like life is a lot more convenient now, but it's not as satisfying. That's how I feel.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's yeah the way the way that I've like pushed myself almost in order to sort of spice up life is like if I can go to the store and actually purchase
Yeah.
groceries, uh, go to the DMV and stand in line. Like the convenience is good when you can't be in
Hmm.
two places at once. But if you can, like I would say, like go ahead, do it. Right, like go to the DMV and stand in line and wait for like 2 hours to get your tags or take a photo. It's gonna suck, but hey, what were you gonna do with? Oh, let me not say this. Like, yeah, you could have. There's better things you could do with your time, but uh, if you haven't done it before, I would say experience it once and then do it. Then sort of save yourself the time after, if that makes sense, right? Like, just go out and experience life.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of feel like all the digital stuff is dehumanizing us. Like, so for example, say like you have a friend and you don't necessarily want to hang around a friend at that moment. Like now with the internet, you can say, "Hey, be right back." You just like shut their little box off, and you don't have to deal with them. Whereas like when you actually have to talk to somebody, you got to kind of take their feelings more into
Yeah.
account. You can't just like,
Yes.
"I'll see you later," and just disappear. It's
Yeah.
like,
You can't just disappear. Exactly. That's the thing too, right? It's like how I don't. Have you ever talked to kids nowadays where it's like, and they don't know how to talk to you, they don't know how to react, like how to behave or like act.
I haven't experienced too much of that, but
Uh,
so
like I'm not talking about like little kids. Let's say like teenagers, 16,
mhm,
17 years old. Um, like I have a cousin, and she's very much into her phone, like all the time, 24/7. And it's like taking away that phone is almost like torture.
yeah,
It's like she has to have it on her all the time. She's got to be scrolling or type texting or whatever. And it's like, dang, you can't put it down. You can't just chill for a little bit.
yeah.
And they really can't. It's like they're just
It's like
addicted.
they're like merged with the machine. Like the phone is an extension of them.
Exactly. Exactly.
What's so
It's a shame.
crazy is people are going to social environments and they're looking at their phone like they're at home.
Right.
Like
Hmm.
what are y'all doing? It's like, oh, you going to a concert and you watching the concert on the phone. It's like, what are you there for?
Right. It's like, oh, we're gonna record a video. We're at this concert. It's like, no, I'm gonna just experience the concert. If a photo is taken,
Exactly,
a photo is taken. But I'm gonna just experience this.
man. What do you think about uh like like video games like Call of Duty? Do you feel like they're desensitizing people to like eventually be able to kill? Like, say for example,
No, I don't think
uh
so.
like, okay, like say somebody plays Call of Duty, they don't necessarily have to grab a gun and pull a trigger, but like they could be controlling robots in the future and shooting people
I
up.
mean,
Like,
sure. Yeah, you could look at it like that, where you detach or you separate the man from the machine, or the man. You separate the gun from the man, right? But like actually like physically pulling a trigger, like is 100 times different. Like feeling the kickback of the gun and seeing the bullet fly, and like that instant, like that whole experience is way different than pulling a trigger on Call of Duty on a controller, hearing it. Like there's so much that goes into that.
yeah,
uh I think if they raise people on that, like on VR and drones and stuff like that,
mm,
probably.
yeah,
Like I won't say no, but it'd be pretty messed up. I'll say this: it'd be pretty messed up because they'd have to basically like not brainwash somebody, but like it's almost like separate that person and their understanding of
Still on?
life.
yeah. We're still on, man. Did you want to chime in on the subject?
Actually, I did not. On my life,
Yeah. You're lying.
I was calling in to actually talk. I had a comment about like when you guys were talking about the devices, and
What's up?
that's really what I wanted to talk about. But
We can talk about it.
I don't know if you're still talking about that because I came up a little bit.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, Kevin, you're breaking up. Uh-oh. I think you. What happened? Oh yeah, you froze. Man, stream has been tough lately.
And,
Right, we're back.
and
Round
the
two.
type of content that I actually subscribe to, or like that I have coming to my phone or being displayed on my phone, the apps, and you know, if I don't want to watch as much TV, I'm not gonna just like burn my TV. I'm gonna maybe get rid of Netflix. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Yeah, like it almost is a portal into another world. Like it's pretty much what all this media is. It takes us places that we can't normally experience physically. You know, it creates like new fantasies in our mind. You know, so you have to be like really careful. You know what you consume and what you let your kids consume.
Right. I think more could be done in that area than you know. Then I think more could be done when it comes to like regulating the amount of content, the type of content we actually watch and consume. I think there's just very little that can be done with the actual device. You know,
Right.
but we need both.
So,
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
what is your opinions on like now versus back in the day when we weren't as overtaken by all of these devices? Do you feel like the human experience was a little bit deeper?
Yeah, man. Now it's a mile wide and an inch deep. It's like my buddy was telling me the other day. I think back in the summer, I was in New York and we were driving by the Yankee Stadium, and he was like, back in the day, I remember just leaving school or whatever, and just deciding with my friends that, hey, we're gonna meet up at this spot under this flagpole at the stadium at 3:00, right? And lo and behold, at 3:00, everyone was there. Nowadays, I mean, I'm not saying we should go back to those times. I'm just even less time conscious now, because like now you could like, hey, how far away are you? What's your ETA? And it's like people don't really value those. I don't even know how to say this, but yeah, the human experience is definitely diluted, I think, nowadays because of devices and the content, about so much content that we have that we're consumed. It's like our eyes are always in. It's weird, but like our eyes are always like focused on like the matrix. Like that's all we see.
Yeah, yeah. We're not really experiencing real life. We're always like experiencing like little mini digital doses of content, like uh 5 seconds of TikTok here, 10 minutes of YouTube there, like, and then I think that's why it seems like time is going so fast because like we're able to get that dopamine rush immediately, and we're just completely immersed into this digital world. Like we're able to get that immediate satisfaction, but we can't remember a lot of those years. Like are you really gonna remember I was sitting around watching a TikTok video 10 years from now?
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's literally where it's going.
It has to have some type of like,
we have to be careful
impact,
because
right? It has to have something.
I remember you guys talking about AI earlier, and
like birthdays, like when I was younger, like birthdays are super special. Like I remember my 13th birthday, I got a Dreamcast, a Sega Dreamcast, like when they were going out of stock or whatever. Like Sonic Adventure 1 was like amazing on that thing, and Crazy Taxi, like you have to make memories. Like you're not making memories by just flipping through TikTok for 2-3 hours a day. You're just killing time. Like you have nothing. Your brain isn't going to be like, oh, what did we learn from 2 hours of TikTok? Nothing. Nothing against TikTok. I'm just saying, just you don't get much from it.
But yeah, man. Yeah, the human experience is kind of cheapened, man. We're not really able to have those deep, lasting relationships. How do you guys plan to detach and go back into the real world? We can start with you, Terrence.
For me personally, I've started by like putting my phone in like black and white mode if I'm not using it, or if I'm not like it, if it's if it's during the workday, I put it in black and white mode. It's basically my rule of thumb. I put it in black and white mode, and then uh, so I try to limit as much phone time as possible, and then uh, it's more so I try to get like do actual activities, like be out the house. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, it sucks driving in LA. Don't get me wrong, it sucks, but being out of the house and away from devices as much as possible, like talking to people, like I picked up chess recently. Like I physically bought a chessboard with chess piece, like the actual pieces and everything, and just
Hmm.
started learning like over the board chess. And I found a club in LA. I'm gonna see if I can actually physically go there if they're open. But the point is that I'm trying to actually be I'm trying to be around people and
Yeah,
like interact with people instead of just being on my phone, because I could play chess on my phone or like online and stuff, but it's not the same.
you're right. What about you, Yannick? What are you doing to detach?
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
yeah.
Okay.
So, that's a very tricky question. Well, because when you think about it, if all the things Terrence, and all those things that Terrence listed, we could, I, 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 I subscribe to that. Like I do all of those things. I try to do all of those things. But if you're living in a world where everyone has, you know, these goggles on, and including yourself, right? Like you have them on too sometimes, I guess, but you want to like, I guess, not be in that environment, in that world, in that virtual world. Um, you don't want to be in there as much, and you're like the only one. When you come out of that, like, what is there to do? Like, are you gonna? I like to go camping and stuff like that. I mean, I have to find people that like those things, right? But most of us are consumed with the matrix. Most of us are really just consumed with the matrix. So it's kind of hard to detach, because if you detach from that, it's kind of hard to find communities outside of that to like detach and then like to attach to. Um, and I don't think we're there yet. I'm just saying that that's where we're going. But right now, I do all the things that Terrence just listed. I like outdoor. I like the outdoors. I regulate my device time. I spend more time with actual individuals rather than just being staring at my phone all the time. Um, even some of the things that like watching movies or like watching TV or things like that. Like I prefer to do those things, with people. I'll give you an example. Like local multiplayer, so video games like race car games. I know you guys talk about video games a lot. There is no local multiplayer anymore. Everything is online.
Hmm.
Like you know how fun it is to like get a group of your guys or your boys or your friends together and just play in the living room. No one does that anymore. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we got to make a concerted effort to kind of get out of this matrix because if you don't, it's just gonna fully consume you, and who knows where they're leading you with all of this technology.
And then another way is to like as technologists.
Go ahead.
Yeah, another way as technologists ourselves, like we have also like some amount of power and like to create and to like steer where technology goes to, right? Like as
Right.
developers and just people that are on the inside, I guess, or are we really on the inside? But what I'm trying to say is, like, as technologists, we have some amount of power to kind of like steer where technology goes to, right? Like, we can use technology to do some that we don't have to detach completely from it. We can actually use it as a tool to create some of the change that we want to see.
Right. But yeah, man, it's getting a little bit late, man. I think this was a good episode. So yeah, we appreciate you for calling in, Yannick, and yeah, we'll catch y'all next time. Peace.